Okay, so we're recording. Hi, Stephanie.
Good evening. How are you, Mary?
I'm good, hon. How are you? You
Good.
have a
Tired.
good day
Always
at
stressful.
work?
I work from 7 to 3:30 today.
Yeah. So it's good. ER crazy today or good?
So right now, today I worked in Occ Health, just helping with paperwork and stuff. Usually the ER is crazy. Thursday is usually a busier day than Friday. Friday, like everyone comes in Thursdays and Mondays because everyone wants a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
Um, so Fridays tends to be more quiet because they don't want to come in on the weekend.
So that's nice. Yeah. It's good to end your week on a quiet day. So I'll just go through
It
these.
is. It always is. But my normal days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, nice.
Thursday's always crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. You wouldn't believe. And I rather die than work on a Monday.
Yeah. I hear you. Um, so just go through the questions. So what motivated you to return to school for your BSN?
So education was really important to me. I went to school right after I had my son. I went to nursing school and I got my LVN because I'm from California. And I thought I'd roll right into an RN program right after my LVN. But as life has it, things went different.
Hmm.
And I ended up getting very sick. So I stopped going to school because I literally didn't walk. Um,
Oh, wow.
and so I had my LVN for 2 years, got sick, and my life was forever different. My husband decided to join the military because of the medical benefits it had. And since then, I feel like I've been trying to get back into an RN program, whether it was BSN or RN. But with the military, we move a lot. So it
Mhm.
was just really hard to kind of, I felt like every time I get close to applying or get accepted, we would have to move. So when we moved to Virginia Beach, I was like, I'm going to school. They have like this quick program through ECPI where there's no waiting list, no nothing. And I did that. And as soon as I finished that, I was like, there's no stopping because from my LVN, I was an LVN for 14 years before I got my RN.
Yeah.
That's a long time. So my motivation was just to keep staying in school, whether it was part time or whatnot, and just keep chipping away at my goals and not to have a big gap. I mean, although I understand why I had my big gap, I just wanted to keep taking baby steps toward my future goals, whether it was one class at a time and whatnot. And ECPI seemed to have a really good program that would work with me while I worked because there was no way I could be a non-working person. I don't know how people do that, but they do.
Yeah. I don't know how people went through it and worked. To me, like I went through without working and that took up all my time. I couldn't have imagined
I
work.
feel like sometimes you get like so used to like a certain set lifestyle. So like once you start making money, you can't go back to not making that money.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what you wait, how am I going to lose a whole salary from your family,
Yeah.
So I'm very motivated by money.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah, well, I got lucky. My husband and I are both veterans, so he got a military medical retirement. We were both in the Air Force, and
Oh,
so
cool.
at the same time, so we both had our GI bills, and we just both, like, he got out of the Air Force with his medical retirement, and I quit my job, and we just both went to school full time at ECPI.
Oh, wow.
So
That's awesome. Well,
yeah,
thank you for your service.
thank you. It was my pleasure. Yeah, so we were fortunate, enough to be able to we didn't work. We just both went to school. And so that worked out really good. And now we're both trying to get careers on track. He's already got his going, but I'm still just working on getting mine going. But
Well, every step, one step at a time,
yeah,
however you can do it. Like, as much as I might be upset at my journey, like, because I'm not like 22 and went straight from like high school to RN to BSN.
right.
Like a lot of my friends went to school right out of high school, like
Hmm.
university master's degrees, and started becoming like junior CEOs now. But we all have different paths. Like I know now, like to compare myself to them, we all have different goals. So like a couple of my friends that really did do that track and went and got their masters and ended up getting like higher degrees and working like these killer jobs. are just getting married and just having kids at our age. Like my friend's pregnant with her first baby, and my other friend has 2 young kids at home, and she just got married like 5 years ago. So I've been married for 14 years. So I guess like not that I'm winning in the marriage part of life, but like everyone just has their own journey of how they're going to get there. And what you did, like serving your country and retiring through that, is amazing. Like
Thank,
amazing.
yeah. Well, thank you for your husband service. What branch is he in?
He's in the Navy.
Okay. And thank you for your service as a spouse, because let me tell you, it takes a lot. I have great admiration for all military spouses because I've
Well,
seen,
thank you.
you know,
I feel like sometimes we're silent in the ranks.
but
People
there's
don't realize
so
what we
much
do.
that you have to hold down, like especially if he deploys or, you know, if he goes out to sea or whatever, there's so much that you have to hold down and take on like double duty by yourself, you know.
I have to plug in my phone. Hang on.
Oh, that's okay. So yeah, spouses are definitely overlooked for sure. Okay, yep, I'm here.
Okay, sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
My phone was like, plug me in.
Oh, I paused it too, so hopefully that'll.
Oh, thanks.
I might have waited a little bit too long. We'll
It's
see.
okay.
That's all right. But yeah, no, I think
We'll get off this later better anyway.
the spouses are not given the credit that y'all deserve. So thank you for
Well,
your
thank you.
dedication to your spouse as he serves too. It's
Well,
important.
you too. I feel like you've done it all, man. You're in the service. You married a service member.
I know, right? It's been crazy. It's been a crazy journey. But like you said, like everybody's journey, you know, there's times where you look at, like you kind of compared to people, you know, your age, peer groups,
Oh,
whatever.
yes.
But at the same time, you know, we're all put on paths in different ways along the journey than the rest. And then you realize as you go along why you're in this place now that, you know, you couldn't have been probably in this place 10, 15 years ago, maybe, you know?
Definitely. And just life
Yeah.
lessons, like I said, I've been through some major junk with my health, and I have amazing kids, and would I have stopped my life to not do those
Yeah.
things? Like, I mean, of course not. Like, no.
Yeah.
I love my life. It might be not as I particularly planned it, but
Right.
it's good.
Yeah. I agree completely. It's like as long as you love how your journey's going, that's all that matters, not
Right.
the steps it took, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely not about comparing, because I feel like I get caught in that trap all the time of comparison game.
Yeah. Um, so what do you expect to learn from this program?
Honestly, I feel like I can learn a lot from my peers in general. Being a nurse for a long time, I'm gonna say it. I feel like I know so much already as far as leadership and skills. I feel like I can learn from other people and their practice. I've done a lot of different practices of nursing. I think it's it's just a formality. This BSN, we have to take a leadership class and do evidence-based practice stuff, community health, which I've actually worked as a school nurse. So I feel like the hard part is done. Like, this is just a check in the box to finish our degree, but the majority of the bulk of our hard work was done in our RN program.
Yeah.
So not that it's not worth anything, but I feel like as far as learning, I'm going to learn how to write a lot of papers.
Yay.
Maybe that's rude, but it's so true.
Yeah.
The hardest part of nursing school is the clinical part and passing the NCLEX.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with
So I'm
you.
going to learn how to be a better writer, because I'm not a great writer.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I do pretty good at writing, but I feel like this is going to be a whole different kind of level than what I'm thinking.
Right.
So,
And I feel like, if anything, it's going to prepare me for a master's program where I have to do more formal writing and research.
yeah.
Because I think that's all your master's is, like a
Yeah.
dissertation and stuff like that. But research and stuff, I'm pretty familiar with. I went to college before I went to nursing school, so
Oh, okay. Did you get a degree prior to that, or?
I was working on a degree in early Christian education
Uh-huh.
and theology.
Oh, nice.
Who
Oh,
would have known,
that's
right?
cool. That's cool, but I feel like that's probably, helpful with nursing, to be
Oh
honest.
my God, it's so helpful. I learned a lot
Yeah.
about different types of religions. And I feel that's not really even covered in your nursing program, but it's definitely covered in your NCLEX.
Yeah.
So a lot of people get stuck on religion and culture, and it's literally like maybe like a few pages of my program, but it was part of our NCLEX, and
Yeah.
thank God I studied it
Yeah.
well.
Good thing you had that to fall on. So what do
Definitely.
you plan on going with your career after the BSN?
Um, so right now I have a lot of crazy plans. I hate speaking them because I feel like if I speak them, like I'm like cursing them.
No,
But
you're putting it out into the universe. That's how I look at it. You're putting it into
okay,
the
putting
universe.
it out to
Yes.
the universe. So
Yes.
the universe holds me accountable.
Right.
So I definitely am interested in pediatrics, acute pediatric care. Um, I like peds. I also like ER medicine. I can't see working as an NP in practice. I definitely want to be on the provider part of the spectrum. I not that I don't love the bedside, but I definitely want to do more cool things. Like I see my providers all the time doing thoracentesis or a pericardial window or putting in EJs, and I want to do that. I want to stab an EJ in.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
so I definitely am interested in that. There's a couple programs that I was interested that offer like acute pediatric care, like a nurse practitioner. They're really expensive. Most of the programs offered are like FNP or pediatric, just regular pediatrics, not acute care, like chronic general care. But we'll see. I definitely want to work with pediatrics. I eventually want to teach too. I really love to teach, which is so funny because I hate writing. And I actually, as much as I feel like I am a stage face, like I get myself ready to do these things, I get really nervous in front of people. Like it's so dumb, but I totally get nervous. And people are always like, "You're so calm," and I'm like, I am shaking and sweating, and I'm always asked to do speeches and stuff like that. But I really do have a passion for teaching and for like planting the seed of nursing and good nursing into new students. So I plan to get my NP in some type of practice, whether it be pediatrics or acute pediatrics. I'm not sure yet. But then towards sometime in my career, working with education with nursing students.
Nice. That's kind of similar to what I'm wanting to do too. Yeah. So not pediatrics part, but the teaching. I love teaching too. Um,
I really do. So I do a lot of precepting in my hospital, and I'm pretty new on the block for the ER. Like they tell you you're not good until you've been there for like 5 years because there's so much to learn because it's nursing school all over again. It's every single subject you have to learn, and somehow they're like, "Oh, Stephanie, you're so friendly." I always get stuck with the the student nurses and the student EMTs and paramedics, and I love it. I love teaching. I love precepting. It's super fun.
that's awesome that you're getting to do that already. That's cool.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
feel really
excited
blessed,
for
but
that.
half the time I just feel like they're lazy and they don't want to. They don't
Oh,
want to teach them.
right.
On them off to Stephanie. She'll take them. She'll talk the ear off of
Right.
anybody.
So, do you have any prior experience with Zoom or any other video conferencing tools? Well, you probably do, huh? With your vlogging, huh?
So we've done this. We've done Zoom through ECPI before. This isn't my first online class. I did, I think, a humanities and a couple other classes, and they had Zoom classrooms. As well, if you ever do a math class, the tutoring center has like a Zoom program where you can go into their meetings, and they can like literally like log into your computer screen and control it with you, help you with your homework, see what you're working on, see how you're working it out. So I do have experience with Zoom. I don't have a camera on my on my lap on my I have a desktop. So I use my phone a lot. So my experience with Zoom is mostly audio. I and then on top of it, like I have to look like this in order for people to see me and for me to leave my house. So working at the wee hours of night and trying to Zoom with someone to tutor, I'm not going to put on a full face of makeup.
Right.
I just Zoom in through my phone as well. My company, I work for Centera. We do a lot of Zoom meetings. Like I'm on a partnership council, and we offer it like a Zoom meeting to like call into it, because we want to make sure like night shift also has able to participate our people on their days off without actually having to come to the facility.
Awesome. So that's good. So you got some good experience with this kind of stuff. This is the first time I've done like hosted a meeting. I've gone as a participant, but I've never like had my own Zoom meeting room
Oh,
before. Yeah.
as far as like video blogging, I don't know if you see my video. I love video blogging. It's like my favorite outlet.
So
It's because like I'm not much of a writer. Like I said, I'm much more of a talker, like one-on-one. And I feel like when I talk to, I feel like it's always hard to write things down, especially when it's personal. You're like, oh, why am I writing this? But when you talk, it's just so fluid, and like I can never stop myself from oversharing. But part of it's like supernatural. Like it's easy to talk to someone out there and just let it go unfiltered and be like, I don't know, organic and real. So I really do love video blogging. And also like my grandma died a couple years back, and all I want to do is hear her stories over and over again, because she loved to tell stories and show you pictures, and I can't remember her voice. So when my
uh,
kids get old, they can at least like listen to my crazy vlogs and be like, oh, there's my crazy mom.
yeah, that's cool. So that was kind of your reason for starting it then?
Yeah, and it like it's seriously not even a big deal. Like half of the time I think I do it so I can rewatch them and say, oh my god, it's like my own little journal.
Yeah.
uh but I really do love posting and video messaging. I'm not like at all published. I don't have a YouTube channel. I usually just vlog on Facebook Live and upload those videos. Every so often I'll record one and then repost it. But my whole deal with me doing it is like I want it to be like unfiltered, Stephanie
Yeah.
unfiltered.
That's awesome. Well,
So
thank
yes,
you.
I do know a lot about lighting, and my camera skills aren't the best. Half the time I'm doing it, I'm driving my car. My mom's like,
Oh.
"You're gonna vlog your like death," and I'm like, "Probably," because that's the only time I have.
Oh no. Well, you look great, and I could tell that you're like you definitely have the
It's all a
skill.
stage. It's all an illusion.
Well, it's a great illusion. So
Thanks.
I'll go ahead and stop recording. And thank you for doing the interview with me. I
Thank
appreciate your
you for
help on the
having me.
project. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now.